Brother Kwame Ture.
Africans, we come to greet you on behalf of the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. As you can see, this year our party didn't have much money. This year our party didn't have much time to organize African Liberation Day, but our party is trying to make it an institution. Consequently, our party says that we must begin to make Africans go to African Liberation Day like Christians go to church. Yes. A Christian goes to church every Sunday. A conscious Christian goes to church every Sunday. And going to church is not a big thing for a Christian. Consequently, going to African Liberation Day should not be a big thing for Africans. On the contrary, Africans know, just like Christians know they should go to church, Africans must know they must go to African Liberation Day. Our party has every intention of making African Liberation Day an institution. It's an institution necessary to make our people become responsible. President Kwame Ture, leader of the African Revolution, says, "The gravest crime any individual can commit is the crime of irresponsibility." Everywhere we've been made an irresponsible people by the enemy. The capitalist system makes us lazy. The capitalist system feeds us commercials and makes us live on commercials. The capitalist system gives us drugs. Everywhere it makes us irresponsible to our people. We must become responsible to our people. And the only way we can become responsible to our people is to understand our people's struggle, understand the forces that are opposed to our people's struggle, and come to fight with these struggles to make our people free. Our people are going to be free. Of this, there isn't the slightest question. In order to be free, one must control both the material and the immaterial aspect of life. A man cannot be free if he controls only the material aspect of his life. A woman cannot be free if she controls only the immaterial aspect of her life. In order to be free, we must control both the material and the immaterial aspect of our lives. For example, a man may have enough power, physical power, to force me to be a slave. That is to say, he may have guns, he may have whips, and he may have the institutions of his society which bring chaos to my society and force me to work as a slave, to pick cotton. But even though this man may force me to be a slave for 400 years, he will never force me to accept slavery in my mind as a way of life. We say in order for a people to be free, they must be in control of both the material and the immaterial aspect of life. Not only must we be in control of our resources in Africa, but we must be in control of our thinking. This is crucial. Some people get confused. Some people think if they have big cars, if they have big houses, if they control the material aspect of life, but they don't control the immaterial aspect of life, they're free. They're incorrect. Some think that if their mind is free, but their body is not free, they are free. They're incorrect. I've met many brothers. Brother told me, "I was up in jail, brother, but I was free." I said, "You were?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Were you behind bars?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You were free?" He said, "Yeah, they couldn't do nothing to my mind." That's right. Your mind might be free, but if you're in jail, your body is not free, and if your body is not free, you are not free. You're only free when your mind and your body is free. Our struggle then is to control not only the material aspect, but the immaterial aspect of life. We must be very clear here. We must be crucial clear here. We must know the difference between reform and revolution. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party is not a reform party. We are a revolutionary party. Consequently, you cannot judge the All-African People's Revolutionary Party by reform standards. If you do, you make a mistake. You cannot even judge a Christian by Muslim standards. If you judge a Christian by Muslim standards, that Christian would be a bad Muslim, because Muslims don't drink. Christians do. One of the first miracles that Jesus Christ worked, he transformed water to wine. Consequently, if you're a Christian, you go to communion, you drink wine. But if you're Muslim, you should not drink wine. You can only judge a Christian by Christian standards. You can only judge a Muslim by Muslim standards. You can only judge a reformist by reform standards. You can only judge a revolutionary by revolutionary standards. There's confusion everywhere. Some people are judging our party by reform methods. They expect us to do what reform movements are doing. Reform movements do not want to destroy destroy American capitalism. They like America. They want a piece of America. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party doesn't want a piece of the American capitalist system. We want the destruction of the American capitalist system. Difference. Watch then now and you will see how this difference reflects itself in our material organizing. You will go today and everywhere you will hear people screaming about Reagan. They're saying Reagan did this, Reagan did that, Reagan, Reagan, Reagan. We of the All-African People's Revolutionary Party tell you honestly, this word Reaganism was invented by Wall Street to confuse the masses of the people. Our party's a revolutionary party. We don't come here to scream at Reagan. Why does it make sense to scream at Reagan? Even in evolutionary form of electoral politics, in 8 years, Reagan is going to disappear anyway. In 8 years, he will not be able to run. So all those who are screaming against Reaganism 8 years from now will have to find something new to scream about. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party been screaming against capitalism and going to keep screaming against capitalism until we destroy capitalism. Here then the difference is clear. We don't come here to talk about Reaganism. We come here to talk about revolution. Our people must be free. But in order for our people to be free, we must come seriously to work for the freedom of our people. Herein lies the great problem. Many of us want to be free. Many of us want to see our people free, but we just dream about being free. We think about being free, but we don't do nothing about being free. Consequently, if you just think about it, but you don't do nothing about it, it's better you think about something else, because you ain't doing that which you're thinking about. As a matter of fact, the only way you can really think about something is when you are doing it. The only ones who can truly think about working for the people are those who are working for the people. Only a swimmer can think seriously about swimming. A non-swimmer cannot even know how to swim, cannot conceive of thinking of swimming. Consequently, it is only those who are working for the people that can really think about the people. The situation must be properly understood. The line that we're pushing must be properly understood. We are saying that words cannot criticize action. And words cannot move the people to activity. It is only activity that moves the people to activity. A lot of people criticize the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. But we of the All-African People's Revolutionary Party do not accept criticisms from anybody if they are not organizing the people. I've been organizing the people for over 22 years consciously. Our party makes mistakes. President Kwame Ture, leader of the African Revolution, says the only party that will not make a mistake is a party that does absolutely nothing. Our party has made mistakes. Our party will make mistakes. Of this we know it. We're not worried here. We will stumble. The Chinese say to stumble is not to fall. It's only to go forward faster. Yes. But we want to make it clear. With the mistakes our party makes, our party cannot be criticized by anyone except those who are actively organizing our people. If you are not organizing our people and you think you're criticizing the party, you have no valid criticism of the party. Can someone who's a swimmer be listened to the criticism of someone who's never got into water? No. Only a swimmer can criticize a swimmer. Only someone who's doing something can make criticism. Consequently, those who are not organizing the people are totally incapable of making any criticism about our party at all. We want it to be clear here. Some people say, all your party do is African Liberation Day. That's all they do. Every year they do this one thing. If that's all we do, they should be happy because that which we do is positive. And when someone's doing something positive, you don't criticize them. On the contrary, you encourage them. All those who attack our party are reactionary. And their line and basis is clear here. Anyone looking at how disorganized our people is, how can you come to seriously criticize someone who's trying to organize the people? No. Here your criticism is reactionary. 97% of the masses of our people do not belong to any organization fighting for the people. Listen to it very carefully. Understand it properly. 97% of the masses of our people do not belong to any organization fighting for our people. And if you would look at America, we need to be more organized than any other ethnic group in America. This problem will only be solved when we ourselves come now to deal with it. Our party has taken a task upon its shoulder. Our party says our people are politically illiterate. Our party says our people are politically illiterate. And if a people are politically illiterate and you want the people to be involved in politics, you must eliminate, you must liquidate political illiteracy. You must make the people politically literate. Our people are totally politically illiterate. Go all up and down the streets of the major communities in our country, in this country. Go over the world where we don't have a revolutionary regime educating the people. The people know absolutely nothing about colonialism. They know nothing about neo-colonialism. They know nothing about Zionism. They know nothing about socialism. They know nothing about imperialism. And these are the forces that control our very lives everywhere. Let me give you an example. American imperialism, especially since World War II, has everywhere been fighting against socialism, military, politically, and diplomatically. American imperialism since World War II has been fighting everywhere against socialism, and American imperialism since World War II everywhere has been defeated by socialism, whether it be political, military, or diplomatic. In 1952, American capitalism went to fight in Korea. The reason they went to fight in Korea was to stop socialism. They said Kim Il-sung, the great, wise, and courageous leader of North Vietnam, was a socialist, a communist, and they must stop him. They went. They took thousands of our fathers. They take thousands of our older brothers. And our fathers and older brothers died in Korea, 10,000 miles to die in the Atlantic Ocean for nothing other than a dying British imperialist system. He needs political education, too. Of course. Of course. It is far better that one dies for principle than to die for nothing. Clearly, those young men in Britain, if they had any sense, they should tell Margaret Thatcher, the Roman Empire has fallen. The British Empire has also fallen. Margaret Thatcher doesn't know it. Consequently, they must now come out and refuse to go to Argentina to fight for British imperialism. They must refuse. It's better that they be shot in Britain for not going to Argentina than to go to Argentina and die in the water for nothing. Political education is necessary. It is only through political education that revolution struggle can not only be waged, but more importantly can be maintained and sustained to its logical conclusion. We said American imperialism went to Korea. It went to stop Kim Il-sung. Today, 30 years later, after they went to Korea, not only is Kim Il-sung still alive, but North Korea is stronger today than it was 30 years later, and South Korea is weaker today than it was 30 years ago. Korea is going to be socialist, every inch of it. We say capitalism wasn't satisfied with that. Karl Marx correctly says that capitalism comes into the world with its jaws dripping with blood. This capitalist system wasn't satisfied in Korea. It left Korea and went to Vietnam. But the heroic people of Vietnam, before the eyes of the entire world, defeated American imperialism. Glory to these great fighters. American imperialism is still not satisfied in Vietnam. Just recently it went to Angola with a reactionary mercenary force named UNITA. But there in Angola, UNITA has been defeated. MPLA is in power and socialism is being constructed in Angola. Defeat for American imperialism. We say everywhere it goes it's been defeated. Look at Cuba. Since 1960, under the liberal John F. Kennedy, when they waged the Bay of Pigs invasion against Cuba, the CIA, these pigs of pigs, have been doing everything to destroy Fidel Castro. Today, 20 years later, Castro is more loved and more respected by true fighters and those who love humanity all over the world than ever before. On the contrary, go anywhere in the world and you will find millions of people who would consider it a great honor to strip bare their chests and take the bullets that the CIA are aiming for Fidel Castro. Cuba is stronger, and not only is Cuba stronger, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, everywhere is rising up against America, and more defeat is in store for American imperialism. It is, we said, through political literacy that we become to see the problem. Any African in America who is politically literate would know that they got no business going to El Salvador, because American imperialism is going to be defeated in El Salvador. It's going to be defeated anywhere else it goes. And its final defeat is going to be delivered by none other than these African ragtag disorganizers, scum that they produce. We are the ones who are going to deal the final blow to American capitalism. It's only social justice. In order to control the immaterial aspect of our lives, we must think for ourselves. We must think for ourselves. The capitalist system controls our thinking. How we think about Africa, how we think about Reagan, how we think about everything is controlled by them. We must come to control our thinking. The only way we will be able to control our thinking is when we come seriously to sit down and control our thinking as a group, not as an individual. Our problem is that we all think that there are individual solutions to the collective problem we face. There is no individual solution here. The only solution is a collective solution. The only solution is the solution when we come together to think collectively to solve the problems that we face as a people. Look, everywhere you will see, people are fighting for their liberation, whether they want to or not. Look, everywhere. You will see everywhere, in every little corner of the world, the people everywhere are rising up against American imperialism. Consequently, it is our responsibility to be in harmony with these people working against the enemy. But the only way we can do that is as an organized force. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party has been since 1967 attempting to form a united front in this country among the African groups, from the NAACP all the way to the Republic of New Africa. We have not been successful, but we will not stop. We are determined to organize the masses of our people. And even if we do not organize the masses of our people, at least we will make the contribution to our people's struggle that we must make. This here is the issue that a lot of people miss. They think that the only time they must come to struggle for the people is when they hear the bugle blows. I saw a brother the other day. I said, my brother, what you doing for your people? He said, man, I'm down with the people. I said, are you ready? He said, brother, I'm down for the people. I said, brother, what organization you in? He said, I ain't in no organization. I said, well, brother, how you down for the people? He said, don't worry, brother. Once the bugle blows, I'll be there. Everybody knows that the only way you can answer the bugle call is if you've been training in the army as a group. So once the bugle comes, you know where to go, where to get your gun, and where your place is in your battalion. We must be organized. As a matter of fact, the real problem is these people who say this don't want to do the work necessary for liberation. They just want to enjoy liberation without doing the work for liberation. This is a capitalist thought. This is a backward and stupid thought. Of course, capitalism itself encourages us not to work. The one who does the least work and gets the most profit is the most intelligent. This is a backward and stupid thought. A conscious human being doesn't seek to consume more than they produce. A conscious human being knows they must produce more than they consume. Consequently, those of us who will really make a contribution to the people's struggle is not those who come when the bugle is blown, but those who've helped to make the bugle, those who've helped to build for the bugle. And even if we die before the bugle is blown, we've made a greater contribution than those who come haphazardly when the bugle is blown. Our people must be organized. Our people must be organized. This atmosphere, this milieu which the party has been fighting everywhere to create is the same. We do not come to argue with others. There's another group in New York, a group which is a white group, which is having African Liberation Day. We're not even fighting with them. We have passed that. African Liberation Day will be controlled only by Africans. There is no more discussion on that. None. They say that our party don't share the platforms with any other group in America. They're correct. The only group that gets a chance to get on this platform are revolutionary groups. If you're not revolutionary, you're not getting on our platform. And the only way we define you as revolutionary is when you're struggling against capitalism. We will never let any African who supports capitalism to come up here and tell our people to vote for this one, vote for that one, or do this, do that. No. When you come here African Liberation Day is revolutionary. Its revolutionary activity, its revolutionary content, its revolutionary enthusiasm must be safeguarded, and it can only be safeguarded by a revolutionary party. Consequently, the All-African People's Revolutionary Party tells them all, no reactionary group will ever control African Liberation Day. How can you have African Liberation Day and come to talk about Reagan? Stupidity. Clear stupidity. Even our people know nothing about Africa. They know everything about that movie actor, and instead of even educating the people, you come to give them more noise about the movie actor instead of educating them about Africa and the African Revolution. Our people must be organized. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party next year is going to have African Liberation Day. African Liberation Day is 25 years old. Those who don't know the history don't know it, but those who do know it respect it and pay homage to it. African Liberation Day has been celebrated in Russia. African Liberation Day has been celebrated in China. African Liberation Day has been celebrated all over Africa. It's been celebrated all over the Caribbean, and it will continue to be celebrated. After next year, our party is not going to have one African Liberation Day. After next year, we're going to regionalize. We're going to have 5. And after a few more years, we're going to put African Liberation Day everywhere there is an African. We're not a reform group. A reform group comes only to deal with material issues. They come to get a better house. They come to get a better job. They come to get a better car. They come to get a better apartment. But they don't come to think better. Consequently, you can get a brother, you can get a sister who's out of a job. Go fight for them to get a job. They fight against the capitalist system, but once they get the job, they support the capitalist system harder than those who never were out of a job. Here, we don't just come to fight for a better job. We don't just come to fight for a better house. We come to fight for a better position where our people in a collective manner will be able to fight for our liberation scientifically. Our people must be organized. In our party, in order to help our sisters, our party has created the All-African Women's Revolutionary Union. Our party is a struggling party. We know that the weapon in struggle is organization. If one doesn't have organization, one cannot effectively struggle. You can even see it from the history of the 1960s in this country. The civil rights movement under the human rights struggle in the 60s, while spontaneous, had organizations to guide them even if they were temporary. Every time the people rise up to fight, they rise up in an organized manner, not in an individual manner. Look, the problem is clear. Come to Washington, D.C. Go to Los Angeles. Go to Chicago. You can go there on any Friday or Saturday night. Go into the African community. You will see the police terrorize us. They will beat us. The rest of us will stand there with our hands on our back, our heads down, and look, we'll do nothing. The police will scream at us, insult us, beat us up. We'll act like a sheep and do nothing. But one day, the police makes a mistake and shoots somebody at the wrong time, and everybody gets up at the same time and goes against the police. Yes. This movement of our people must be organized and made conscious. This movement of our people must be organized and made conscious. We say, in order to fight, you must have weapons. And the weapon here is organization. Consequently, since our party really wants the liberation of our people, we're not putting anybody up to fight against anybody until we make weapons. You cannot fight an army without weapons. You may not fight the army with the same weapons it has, but you must have weapons. We cannot fight anybody without the weapon of organization. To ask one of us, without organization, to go and fight against capitalism is like asking David to go against Goliath and not give him a slingshot. At least we must have a weapon. Let it be proper. The weapon that we are making is a weapon that we ourselves are making. This weapon of organization can never be manufactured by any great multinational weapons distribution. No. This weapon can only be fabricated by the African people. This weapon must be made, molded, and have our characteristic. It must answer all our needs. This weapon is our weapon, and we must come to make this weapon for the masses of our people. Frantz Fanon, a great Pan-Africanist, Frantz Fanon, one of the greatest Pan-Africanists, and we must repeat Pan-Africanist, because every time you hear about Frantz Fanon, nobody calls him a Pan-Africanist. But if you know anything about Fanon, you know Fanon was nothing but a Pan-Africanist. Frantz Fanon, a great Pan-Africanist, said, every generation must find out what its mission is, either fulfill it or betray it. If I'm not able to defeat capitalism, at least I must build a weapon and pass that weapon on to my daughter so my daughter can use that weapon to defeat the enemy. The weapon is organization. The weapon is organization. We want to explain a little bit about the organization which we speak. In our party, the organization about which we speak is an organization which becomes central in your life. Have you ever seen a Christian who is truly a Christian? Everything in his life revolves around Christianity. As a matter of fact, when you do something good and he wants to thank you, he says, God bless you. When anything happens, he said, that's the way God wanted it. Have you ever seen a good Muslim, a religious Muslim? Anything that happens, that's the way Allah wanted it. As a matter of fact, even when the Muslim greets you, he greets you with religious slogans. Peace be unto you in the name of Allah. Yes. When we become revolutionary, revolution must become central in our lives. Just like for the Christian, everything must be subjugated to the principle of Christianity, so too for the revolutionary, everything must be subjugated to the principles of the revolution. And all African People's Revolutionary Party cannot be a sometimes revolutionary. Even when working underground, he's always a revolutionary. Even when disguising himself before the enemy, he's always a revolutionary and conducting revolutionary activity. Those who are in our party must come to understand that the party must become central in our lives. Some of us go to work-study circles and we leave the party there. When we come back in the house, the party's not in the house. You're not building a revolutionary movement. The party must be in your house. The party must be in your bedroom. The party must be in your bathroom. The party must be in your car. Wherever you are, you must be the embodiment, the perfect instrument of a militant, a party organizer for the All African People's Revolutionary Party. We say the struggle for our people's liberation must become central in our lives. We say the struggle for the people's liberation must become central in our lives. Just like the Christian will do everything to pick up nickels and dimes to build a church, so too we must do everything to pick up nickels and dimes to help the party. Just like the Christian, before doing everything, tells you why you must believe in God, so too before doing everything, we must tell the people why they have a necessity to struggle for their people. Our people will only be organized when we do it. We want to tell you something. We of the All African People's Revolutionary Party will never get tired of trying to organize our people. Never. Never. Just like the Christian never gets tired of going to church. Just like the Muslim never gets tired of praying 5 times a day. So those of us who truly care about our people will never get tired of calling our people to organize, 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 organize. Just like the Christian prays to go to church, just like the Muslim prays, so too we will pray to our people. People organize, people organize, people organize. Individuals, those of you who recognize your responsibility, come forward. Go to the party. Forward. Go to the party's table where you see us recruiting. Come, sign your name. Help us organize our people. Do not do like they did in Germany. Do not try to wait until it's too late. Because here, the people are going to win, and those who are late are only going to be left out. Our people must be organized. Forward. Go to the party's table where you see us recruiting. Come, sign your name. Help us organize our people. Do not do like they did in Germany. Do not try to wait until it's too late. Because here, the people are going to win, and those who are late are only going to be left out. Our people must be organized. Come to African Liberation Day. Come, join the party. Work for your people. If you don't join our party, join another organization.
We want to create a milieu in our community when every brother, every sister we see automatically know through political education that they must be in an organization fighting for the people. My sister, did you hear what I said? I'm saying that every time you see a brother, the first thing that brother should be able to tell you is, brother, I'm a member of the Nation of Islam. Brother, I'm a member of the NAACP. Brother, I'm a member of the Urban League. My sister, I'm a member of the Republic of New Africa. My brother, I'm a member of whatever. But anytime you find a brother or a sister who cannot tell you which organization they belong to fighting for the people, this individual needs political education. Missionaries, white missionaries can leave America and go to Africa to Christianize us. Why can't we who are revolutionary come to revolutionize the masses of our people right here? White Christians will go everywhere and tell someone who's never heard of Jesus Christ of the need to fall down before Jesus Christ. When our people have all these problems, what's the difficulty in us coming to tell our people that they must come and work for the revolution? Revolution is based on objective and subjective conditions. Even if the people don't want revolution, the patterns of history which have already been made are leading the people to revolution. Consequently, all our party is saying is that we must come and live up to our responsibility. Our people will be free. They will be free only through organization. Our people must be organized. Those of us who are organizing the people will never get tired of organizing the people because we get our strength from the people. But let it be properly understood. While our people are totally disorganized, our party cannot be properly organized. Our party must reflect our people. But the job of our party is to become more organized as we seek to organize the people. Consequently, inside of our party, party militants must pay more attention to little details. Our party has so many problems. In our party, we have people who won't work with each other because they don't like each other. And both of them said they come to work for the people. This is stupidity. This must stop. Our people are disorganized everywhere. The few of us in the party who come to say we want to organize the people, if we fight each other, it's only the people who suffer the more. We must stop it. We must come to find functional working unity. No, on the contrary, we must look to Kwame Ture. He says it. He says a revolutionary must make even reactionaries work for the revolution. Consequently, when you come to work for the revolution, when you come into the revolutionary party and you find a reactionary, your job is to make this reactionary work for the people against his will, against his intention. It is only when you're doing this that you're truly being revolutionary. All those in the party must come to understand, anytime we hear about somebody not working with somebody because they don't like somebody, or somebody messing up something because they don't talk to somebody, that person will be held seriously accountable for sabotaging the party and the efforts of the masses of the people. We must work with each other. It is out of nothing that we must create something. It is out of the scum left over by capitalism that we must build socialism. This is what Lenin tells us, and he is correct. We must come and take from our people, those who have no understanding of organization, and by constant political education and proper example, show them the need for organization. We must conclude. Before we do, we leave you by a quote made by the All-African Women's Revolutionary Union. Our sisters say, organize as an example, and your example will organize others. Organize as an example, and your example will organize others. Organize as an example, and your example will organize others. You want to help our people? Organize. Ready for the revolution.